Hi everyone, it's Miss D. Okay, so today we're going to talk about where your vegetables grow. Some of them, they all start in the ground as seeds. Okay? They all start as seeds. They're planted in the ground. They need water, they need sunlight, they need soil. But some of them grow up from the ground, and some of them grow down into the ground. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I made this little chart, and we're going to talk about where does the food grow. So these are the tops. So they all start, here's the soil, here's the ground. The tops grow up from the ground. So on the tops list, we have broccoli, grows up from the ground. Cucumbers grow up out of the ground. Lettuce, and remember we said lettuce grows like a head, like a ball. These are the leaves of lettuce. Okay. Corn grows up from the ground. Corn grows on big stalks up from the ground. Peas grow up from the ground. Beans and celery grows up from the ground. Okay. And tomatoes, which technically is a fruit, but we eat with our vegetables, grow on a vine up from the ground. Okay? Now, these are the vegetables, again, that get planted in the ground, but then they grow down. The vegetables that grow up still have their roots in the ground, but they grow up from the ground. The vegetables that grow down into the ground, they are the root. Isn't that interesting? So, the vegetables that grow down into the ground are onions. Turnips I don't have. Carrots, for sure. We know carrots grow down into the ground. Potatoes. Radishes, which are a beautiful pink color. Beets, which my daughters love to eat. And even peanuts, which technically is not a vegetable either, but isn't that interesting that peanuts grow in the ground? So all of these vegetables that grow down into the ground, you have to make sure when they come out of the ground, they're dirty. And you have to make sure before you eat them, you have to wash them really, really well, because they come out with soil all over them. When you pull out a carrot, it is covered in dirt. It doesn't look beautiful and orange like this. So these are your vegetables that grow up out of the ground and your vegetables that grow down into the ground. Okay. Now I have a really good book to read today. It's called Growing Vegetable Soup. And we are going to make vegetable soup right along with them in this story. Okay? And I have a song to read after the storybook too. So here we go. Growing Vegetable Soup by Lois Ehlert. Dad says we're going to grow vegetable soup. We're ready to work, and our tools are ready too. So they have a rake to get the soil ready. They have a shovel to dig where they're going to plant. And they have a hoe that makes the soil smooth so they're ready to plant their seeds. You have to have the right tools. We are planting the seeds. So you can see here, they dig a hole and they put the seeds right in the hole. Remember when we planted our seeds, we poked our fingers in to make holes for our seeds, right? So they have their hole. They're planting green bean seeds. They're planting pea seeds, corn seeds, zucchini and squash seeds, and carrot seeds. And here's the package of seeds, just like I showed you. It comes in a package just like this. These are carrot seeds. And you put the seeds right in the ground, and they're wearing gloves so their hands don't get all dirty. I like to put my hands in the dirt. And all the sprouts, they have a broccoli sprout, a tomato sprout, eyes on the potato. Those are the little dots that the potato gets. This is a trowel. It's also like a shovel, a small shovel. They have pepper and cabbage. And giving them water. So here's the watering can, just like I showed you. And they're watering all their seeds. They all need water to grow. And waiting for the warm sun to make them grow. So in the garden, with your hoe and your rake, you make lines from the soil, and you line up all the vegetables that you're growing, and you put in that little stick, just like I showed you with the sunflower, so that you know what is supposed to grow there. They're growing and growing. Look at that. They're really starting to grow. And grow into plants. So the vegetables that grow up out of the ground sometimes need a little help. So you put a stake in the ground, it's just like a stick, and that helps these plants that need a little bit of extra support stand up instead of just fall over onto the ground. Some vegetables blossom before they grow their vegetable on their vine. And I don't know if you remember when we talked about apples way back at the beginning of the school year. Apples grow blossoms before they turn into apples. So, and squash and pumpkins do the same thing. We watch over them and pull out the weeds. Remember we talked about the weeds? Sometimes the weeds get in the way and they steal the sunshine and the water and the important things from the plants that you want to grow. So you have to pull the weeds out until the vegetables are ready for us to pick. So there's pepper and corn and tomatoes. Or dig up. And those are the vegetables that we talked about that grow under the ground, like carrots and potatoes. We carry them home and then we wash them. Here's lettuce and onions. Some onions look purple and some onions look orangey, tan. And we cut them and put them into a pot of water. Those are all the vegetables cut up. Use a sharp knife. You make sure there's a grown-up helping you. And cook them into vegetable soup. At last, it's time to eat it all up. It was the best soup ever. Have any of you ever had vegetable soup? It's so yummy. And we can grow it all again next year. And that's the coolest thing about fruits and vegetables, that you just take the seeds or a kernel of corn, and you plant that and you get more. It's so cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our vegetable soup. So I have a song we're going to sing, and we're going to put each one of the vegetables in the soup. So here we go. The carrots go in the soup. The carrots go in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The carrots go in the soup. The peas go in the soup. The peas go in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The peas go in the soup. What's next? The corn goes in the soup. The corn goes in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The corn goes in the soup. I hope you guys are singing with me at home. The onion goes in the soup. The onion goes in the soup. Make sure you're stirring. We stir and stir and stir some more. The onion goes in the soup. The tomato goes in the soup. The tomato goes in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The tomatoes goes in the soup. The pepper goes in the soup. The pepper goes in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The pepper goes in the soup. The cucumber goes in the soup. Or the zucchini. Zucchini looks a lot like this too. The cucumber goes in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The cucumber goes in the soup. The broccoli goes in the soup. The broccoli goes in the soup. We stir and stir and stir some more. The broccoli goes in the soup. And now the soup is done. And now the soup is done. We'll eat and eat and eat some more. Now the soup is done. Manja, yum.